Hey, I think we can sing this last chorus right here. I'm gonna repeat it, right? Let's see. Right here. What's up?
What do you say? Faith and I walk now. Oh man, I'm tripping. I don't know what he said on that one.
It took me a minute to figure it out too. You sure had to tell me, right?
Like I said, faith to move around the numbers. I don't know what he said.
Right. You say got the faith, and I'm gonna walk now. You can always hit it again before we start. All right, what y'all think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was should have said yeah.
Where y'all this time? That's the only one I've been waiting for, right? Okay, okay. All right. Most High Christ bless everybody.
Most High Christ bless you too.
Okay. Most High Christ bless you too. What they say? Okay. All right. Happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath to you too.
Okay, so all praises unto the Most High Israel for giving us the spirit to come here, fellowship, keep His commandments, and learn what His will is. All praises. Interesting topic today. Very interesting. Marriage. We'll talk about marriage today.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
What he say?
He said you gonna get this work.
All right. So let's just jump right in. 1 Timothy 5. So God will it, we're able to, through the Spirit, bring out some detailed instructions on how things are supposed to be and how things are supposed to go. You might want to pay attention. Don't go to the left. Don't go to the right. And definitely don't lean to your own understanding. Let me show the class. Okay. So for a very long time, I've been in my spirit, been fighting, I believe, Satan for your cause. And I'm not sure if you understand what that means, to fight Satan on your cause. Me being an overseer in Israel in this assembly, I do truly understand that you look to me for answers, you look for me for which way should I do this, how should I do this, and how should I do that. And it's not taken as a grain of salt. It's actually a mountain. It's a weighty matter. So every supplication, everything that I talk to you about, your heart's desires, and all of those things. And so my objective was and it still is to make sure that you go about things the correct type of way and don't make the mistakes that the adults that surround you, including myself, have made numerous of times. You don't have to make those mistakes. I know they're mistakes. And at the time, when I was indulging, it didn't feel like a mistake. It didn't seem like a mistake. If you'd have told me that I was wrong and it was a mistake, I'd have just thought you was tripping and you was crazy. You know the saying that hindsight is 20/20. mean, you can look behind you and you can see real clear, but you can, in your presence, you can't really see. You're trying to focus, and nobody can see something that they can't see. It's not in their sight. That's your future. A lot of times you don't know what your future holds, it entails. And that's why you have to have somebody with that experience. Go to the book of Job. So we'll get this one first. The book of Job, chapter 32. Job 32 and 7. It says, I said, days should speak. So pay attention. Days should speak, and the multitude of years should teach wisdom. So that's my job, and that's my position now. If I was doing something that young folks was doing, young people do, you'd be like, he doing something, he's too old to be doing it. Like we playing flag football, they put my Yana on to guard me. And Dash. He said, go at Dash, get on Sham. I was like, that's disrespectful. Throw me the ball. I scored the touchdown and show him I still got it. Put Dash on me. It was cold right there. What y'all think of me? All right. Oh, man. That broke my heart right there. I was like, Dash. No, for real. Yeah, they did that for real. Dash, you stay right there on Sam. You don't let him get out your sight. It's like, so I can't run past Dash. What y'all think I came out here in a wheelchair, bro? What do you think I walked out here. You know, in fact, I tried it, right? You see me trot on the field? Y'all some boogers, man. Y'all wrong for that. Slimy boogers. All right, so you say I ain't know nothing about that speed, and they kept throwing the ball to JD little brother. Says his son, fast as a whip. Jeremiah streaking down the sideline like he's Jerry Rice. So I ain't know nothing about that, but this I do know something about. They should speak, and the multitude of years should teach wisdom. So if I believe years, I'm telling you, I've made mistakes. What am I telling you? I don't hear it. What am I telling you? I made mistakes. Then why won't you let me speak to you? Why won't you let me speak to you until you don't make the mistakes I made, man? You're going to make them. They want, that's it. You want to make them then. But I can tell you, you don't want what comes behind it, the consequences. It says there is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding. So that spirit that's in me now, the Most High, is giving me understanding. And so I've been trying to guard a lot of brothers and sisters with the understanding that you feel are restrictions. My life and my example and my days were to teach you the commandments of the Most High so that you can know how to lead and guide your life and go around them and say, one of the main things that you were supposed to avoid is go to Corinthians. It should be 2 Corinthians chapter 6. And 14. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and 14. Let's read that together on 3. This is why the restrictions, this is why so firm and so hard. So when I lay this marriage down on you, you can understand my effort and energy, and you can prove to yourself, to the Most High, yourself, to me, and all the rest of your peers that that's not a choice that you want to make. It's not marriage, but it's a choice of this. Let's read it on 3. 2 Corinthians 6:14, 1, 2, and 3.
Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
Right, that you're not going to be unequally yoked together with an unbeliever. And so we'll show you what an unbeliever is. An unbeliever is somebody that is in the midst of sin. They in the midst of sin, and they not ready. So you got to put your feelings aside, and you got to invest in your life. You have to be able to see when somebody is not ready. If you spending your time being rooted and grounded, and you doing it, you're gonna be able to know an equal, somebody that's on the level that you're on the level that they. And when I say equal or on the level, meaning you have the same faith. You're not unequal. We believe in the same thing. Okay, go ahead, finish 1, 2, and 3.
For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness?
Right. What are you doing with somebody that ain't dealing right? You know this person ain't right. What are you doing with them? If you desire to be with somebody that's not doing that, that's unrighteous, then it's all flesh. Your agreement is carnal. Don't ever be, and some people are, don't ever be attached to a carnal relationship because it's short-lived. Once the physical part about it is burned out, there's nothing left. It was never founded on Christ. So you cannot go after a situation, go after somebody, or allow somebody to come after you, or be interested solely on appearance or because of how you feel. Oh, I like him. You like him. He likes you. Or you like her. Now that'll destroy you. Somebody's at the front door. That'll destroy you. Just look out.
Yeah.
Who was there? Security? Okay, somebody's downstairs.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll destroy you. Do everybody understand? What did destroy Corey? What did destroy him?
That unbelief.
You gotta pay attention. Stop. Nope. Pay attention. You're sure what did destroy you?
Their flesh.
Their flesh. Okay, I'm gonna judge this really hard. No, you got it wrong. Jabril, you 5 feet from me. What did destroy you?
Carnal relationship.
Okay, close. Corner. That's in there. But what else did I say? Bo, that's okay. You look like you're thinking. So if you're thinking, you don't got it.
Yeah.
What's this? Abanya?
You yoking yourself with somebody and the desire is gone. It's not founded on Christ.
Nope.
It is destroyed.
You know them? Appearance only. Appearance only. What did I say?
Appearance only.
Appearance only. That'll destroy you. It destroy. I felt the wrath of appearance only relationships. Yep. Appearance only. So if you're interested in somebody and all you got is appearance, you got nothing. You think you got something. You got nothing. And I'm not taught, listen, I'm going to teach you and show you what's right. And I ain't talking about nobody low key, subliminally side. Well, he talking about me because he know I like her, or he know I like him, or nope, I ain't talking about you. I don't even know you. Okay. How many of us had appearance relationships that went wrong? Raise your hand. Appearance relationships that went wrong. Okay. Mainly just the men. The sisters, y'all lying today. Look at their hands. Ain't nobody raised their hand. Excuse the word, baby. ASS. No, okay, y'all didn't. Okay, you didn't. You say you. It's kind of tough. Because in the world, that's all we see is appearance. You don't know nothing about nobody hygiene, they education, they upbringing. You know nothing about none of that. Either they was looking good. That was the fact that they was looking good. Okay. So what have fellowship? What fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? So that should be, so when to me at the water, we talked about this topic and I expressed some concerns. You know what he said? He said, you got to trust that they just going to make the right choice. They got to live their life. And you do. You do. And I said, you're right. It's theirs to mess it up or not to mess it up. So you sit there and don't, like the answers I just said, you should have been able to give them right back. Because these are the things that you're actually going to need. You could walk away from her and be like, well, why was the whistle? Because it was based upon how she looked. And I understand, Okay, what'd you say, Vanya?
Appearance on. You said what was the whistle because it was based on, and then I said appearance on it.
Because it's based upon appearance only. And that's hard to break. That's hard to break. Even for everybody, that would be, because there has to be, you want some type of attraction there. But you have to be spiritual to handle yourself to where you're not sucked in or you get close to. Because the closer you step to something, the closer it can affect you. Okay, so what communion have light with darkness? And what concord have Christ with Belial? Belial was just a wicked Israelite with some wicked Israelites. And what part have he that believeth with an infidel? The infidel represents the person, the brother or sister at work. That's what an infidel is. They don't know to believe. So you got to count them as a non-believer. Even though I believe in Jesus Christ, you learn about them at Baptist church, stuff like that. That's an infidel. then they have to teach them to believe in the God of the Bible. Or they should, let me rewind that, bring that back. It's not so much that you have got to teach them, because if you're teaching them, then you're grooming them. And no brother should be grooming a sister to be a wife. And no sister should be grooming a brother to be a husband. The first thing is you see him and you like how he look. Now, this might sound like rebuke, chastise, correction, admonishing. Why don't it just be education? No sister should be grooming a brother. You're first on sight, he's got muscles, I like him. He's tall, you like him. He's dark, you like him. He's light, you like him. He dressed nice. You what? You like him because he wears it well. Like, that's the guy you could spend the rest of your life with. That's all a mannequin. He's just dressed up. But so he doesn't believe, he doesn't have the faith that you have. So you shouldn't be grooming them. You're nice. Any guy's gonna be like, I'm gonna tell you, any guy is gonna go along with your faith to lay down with you. Did y'all know that as women? Raise your hand if you knew that. Be honest. If you knew that, raise your hand. We'll be looking for the home run. Brothers will take it all the way. Yep, with everything that you say, yep, yep, until every defense you have come tumbling on down. Even the fact that you believe that we're going to be with you when we don't even have that intention on. Our intention is in our mind cut and dry. So you got to be careful with that. Okay, so anytime. So we're going to lose this Corinthians 6. Now let's go to where we're going to begin in First Timothy 5. Here it gets interesting. First Timothy chapter 5. And verse 14. It says, I would therefore that the young women marry. Bear children. Guide the house. Now, that's the part that I want to address. When it says that young women marry, that's not a sin. I've never taught that it was a sin. Nobody ever said that I've taught that it was a sin. And I understand that there's been restrictions. Why? Because is the behavior, is it going to be marriage or is it going to be just sex? You might call it marriage, but the Bible will prove it to be just sex. You don't even want to name it fornication because then you know that fornication, there's a consequence behind it. As a young woman, you are allowed to be married. It says, and he's speaking through the Spirit of Christ, that you should marry. I know there are young women here. Some are children in a body that looks like a young woman. You're still a child, so you're not ready. And then there are some that are actually young women. Now, getting married, there are steps to preparing yourself to getting married, to being married. So let's address those steps right there so that as a young woman that you can feel confident within yourself, because once you make the decision to be married, excuse me, you cannot go back on that decision. You can't live a life of girlfriend and boyfriend. You can't do that. Once you do that, you have amputated the single life. You've cut it off. You're no more twain, but one. And now, when you become one, now you have to listen to what the man is saying. Okay. So, one of the first steps is being fully persuaded. Maybe women, sister, young women, you can write this down, even the teenagers, because you have to grow to know this type of knowledge. You have to be fully persuaded that you are going to allow the man to be the head in your life. Go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 7. Ecclesiasticus chapter 7 and 26. It says, "Hast thou a wife after thy mind?" What does that mean? It means that the wife should be seeking to have the mind of her husband. She should be seeking to fulfill his desires, not so much as his physical desires. That ain't for us to discuss here. It's referring to how he wants things to be in his house, in the relationship, and things like that. How he wants you to behave, how he wants you to walk, how he wants you to carry yourself. Because he's your head, he's your Lord, he's like Christ to you, he's your teacher. He must be your everything. So when you go into a marriage, those are the things that you must plan to sign on for. You know, like you seen a child with the mother, and the child has got to agree with the mother. Sometimes I joke, if I hear a child crying with mom, I say, oh, he disagrees. And that's why he's crying, because he disagrees. So you're not supposed to be be the word complicit, meaning, you know what that means, right? Women, sisters, you know what complicit means? Okay. Complicit with others in an illegal activity or wrongdoing. So you're not to be complicit with him in wrongdoing. You're not to agree with him in wrongdoing. If you are agree with him in wrongdoing, then you are in sin too. Complicit. That's not having his mind. I'm going to have his mind and he's wrong. Then that's Satan's mind. That's not what the Most High is saying for you to do. Okay. So how we doing? We coming along, everybody? Okay. Women, get this information. It's good. Okay, so we're going to go back to Ecclesiastes 7:26. Has thou a wife after thy mind? It's showing you that you, as a woman, as a young woman, you have got to be after the man's mind. After his mind, you should be trying to figure out what he wants, what he likes, how to make things smooth, how to make things right. Now, of course, let's not paint a rough situation to where the guy is complicated and he's going off. Not that. But trying to still be the way that you were before you were married. That's the part that has to change. You got to get cut off because he won't desire you then. Go to the 25th chapter, Ecclesiastes chapter 25. I don't think. Are there any seats? Yes. Okay, let's get settled. Please ask us 25 and 26. If she go not as thou wouldest have her. So this will be the mindset of the man. Cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. Now, in Christ, we can't do that. But make no mistake, you cannot control how people feel. And so if you're not complying and he can't cut you off, how is that going to make him feel about the woman? Trevon? Hate. That's right. He's going to dislike you. Young woman that wants to get married, I'm teaching you what to look for, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. I'm definitely not trying to make it. This is the realest. I'm not making it like, oh, you make it sound bad, this and that, this and that. You're not a counselor. You don't deal with couples and they scream and they hate each other because they're not, they minds ain't there. So my job is to prepare you for your job. You want to be a wife? This is what you got. And I'm sure every young woman and every young girl in her eventually wants to be married. You just think about the loving part. I'm gonna have fun, have somebody to laugh with, somebody to make a sandwich with, for. What if he ain't a sandwich type of guy? Let's get past that. But soon, you getting your big girl up. You're gonna be married. So you gotta know this type of stuff. And not get there and now your life is in the shop and you don't know how it got there. This is how he'll feel. You're not doing what he wants. He wants to cut you off. He'll feel regrets. I shouldn't have did this. You'll feel regrets. Verse 25, give the water no passage. He'll be not trying to let anything slide. It's his job not to let anything slide. Are we clear up until this point?
Yes, sir.
Chapter 26, verse 1. Blessed is the man that have a virtuous wife. So a virtuous wife, she's a wife that's strong in the duties and responsibilities. So now if you are in compliance and you are strong in the responsibility trying to grow with the mindset of let me make sure that I'm doing what's needed, what's being required. I've known women to be like they are doing the right thing, and the right thing is their mind. It's not the mind of the husband. And instead of it being a blessing, it's hardships. Blessed is the man that have a virtuous wife. So here in this precept, who's blessed, the man or the woman?
Man.
What did he do to be blessed? Listen to the question. What did he do to be blessed?
He chose the wife that was after his mom.
He chose the right one. At the time, somebody in the basement got it. It wasn't his wife, but he chose a woman that was in the faith, settled and grounded. Someone that was proven. Okay, that and he grew with that. For the number of his days shall be double, meaning he'll have a long life. Why? Because it'll be free of stress, free of heartaches, free of headaches, be free of a lot of issues and problems because of the comfort, the joy that comes from his partner. When you are in a marriage, it's supposed to be joyous, happiness, pleasure. Pleasure, not, I'm never talking about sexual, okay? I'm never talking about that. I don't need to know about that. The relationship, the interaction should always be a bonus, a lottery, a pleasure, joyous. In order for that to happen and to work, as men, we got to be grounded and settled and reasonable according to the scriptures. And then, sisters, you should be trying to have the mindset that's in your husband. Every man is different. You can't look at another man and say, well, my husband needs to be like that. As long as your husband is keeping the commandments, then you need to be like your husband. You need to think what he's thinking and saying what he's saying and feel what he's feeling. You need to be trying to adapt to how he's thinking, not another man, because the other man is not your husband. (26) in verse 2. A virtuous woman rejoices her husband. What type of woman, according to the scriptures, makes the husband happy, Jeremiah? What is virtuous?
And she's a learned woman who deals according to the scriptures.
Right. She's a learned woman and she deals according to the scriptures. That's good. That's a good answer. So if you don't just be looking to be a wife because you know what it takes to be a wife, open your legs. You like, okay, that's not it. Virtuous. A woman will become a wife when she's learned and when she's applying and she has success at overcoming her issues that she knows that she's got to deal with. Because what you don't want to do as a woman is you don't want to take that into a relationship, because then you will take that out on the man. And a lot of times people, they do it on, how you say it, unintentional. You be in such a good mood that the true you, and we've all done it, the true you comes out when somebody triggers the old man, the old woman. That's when it comes out. But those are some of the things you should be focusing on now while you're single. Praying, fasting, applying. When those things are triggered in someone else, see the bigger picture and say, let me repent of that. Let me stop doing this because I know that I don't like this and this. Let me not respond like that. And you begin to now grow, get a rhythm of success. And when you're successful, I'm not saying that, okay, you like, I'm successful, I'm gonna go get married. No, just be successful so that when the Lord calls you to be somebody's wife, you not have some stinking baggage with you. Because you're gonna go into a relationship and now you can end up being hated, disliked, abused, verbally abused, physically abused, mentally abused, neglected, not cared for, not celebrated, not honored, not respected. And it'll be because certain behaviors that you have that you would feel like it doesn't want this, but that's how the person took it. That's how they took it. They took it to that degree because to them it's exceeding sinful. What if they're in the truth but in another assembly? This is a question. Well, you need to be seeking to be like-minded with that person. You guys should be you should be in the same place. There's no way I'm going to be in the General Assembly, and my wife is in the Israelite camp, in another city. Somebody in another city, I don't want to get into that. But you guys should seek to be, and like they were twain, now they one flesh. So your flesh should not be somewhere else. So we were Ecclesiastes chapter 26. And to a virtuous woman rejoiceth the husband. So sisters, some sisters feel like they got bad husbands. What if you don't have a bad husband? What if he's reacting off of certain behaviors that you have that's toxic to you? It was toxic to you first, and now it's toxic to him, and it's killing the marriage. He's the trigger, no doubt. Let's say he's the trigger. Whose behavior is it? Is it yours or his? He got his that triggered you, but you got yours because you behave like that. Somebody can come around you smoking crack. Does that mean you're going to smoke it? Oh, they triggered me. They triggered me. You shouldn't have triggered me. See, now you see it. You want to make the husband happy? Be rooted and grounded and settled. Do what you're supposed to do. Let's get this rooted, grounded, and settled. This is for the women, young women, in order to make the guy happy. Want to be married? Want to make him happy? You got to be like this. Go to Ephesians 3. Ephesians 3 and 6. Not 6:16, I mean. Ephesians 3 and 16. That he would grant you, so I'm talking to the sisters, that the Lord as a woman would grant you. Y'all show the video. Those of you that are online, show the video. That the Lord would grant you according to the riches of his glory. The glory of the Lord is his ability, what he knows is right. The riches of the glory of the Lord. What did I say it was, Obadiah? That he had grant you something. Do any sisters know what I said? Okay. Do we want to talk about this topic? That's right. I think we have to. You're right. We have to. But we're not following.
Lord grant you because he know what it'll be like. He grant you according to.
Any sisters in here thought about getting married? Raise your hand. Okay. So you thought about marriage, okay. It says that he would grant you according to the riches of his glory. The glory of the Most High is his know-how. He's granting you access to what he knows.
That's right. Yes.
To be strengthened. Because without his know-how, you not strengthened at all. Without his know-how, you be looking at somebody saying how cute they are, they done ran through you and they gone. Or drop some business off on you. Some infection, some VD or something. Or and ran your car in the dirt. Guys do that, get with the girl with the car. They ain't got nothing, not even a scooter. He show up on an electric scooter. How'd you get over here? I'm cold like that. Electric scooter down, electric scooter on the corner waiting to be recharged. He think it's his. He's like, you better drop my scooter off in the morning. Y'all know how to choose a boy. That's how they pick them. So, for you to be strengthened with his might, by his spirit, the inner man, that Christ might dwell in your hearts by faith. So you get access to this because you believe that ye being rooted and grounded. So now you're growing, all right? And you ain't going nowhere. You're grounded. You're not going to easily topple over. You ever seen a leaning plant? Watch out, he might die. He's leaning, he's not strong. You don't want to be a leaning woman. You be grounded in love. Ephesians 3 and 17. Now may be able to comprehend. See, once the Lord deal with you, you can what? You can comprehend what? Now you can comprehend, because before you wasn't comprehending. You ever heard somebody ask somebody else, "Are you stupid?" You comprehend. Do you know what it means? Are you listening? So if a person is not rooted and grounded, it seems like the scriptures say they're not comprehending. With all the saints, what is the breadth, the height, the depth, the width? That's a full dimension of what the will of the Most High is concerning their responsibility in the thing that they should be doing. So as a woman, preparing yourself to be married, guiding the house, first you got to accept the mind of the man. I'm going to be like this. I need to be like that. And to know the love of Christ. What is the love of Christ? The commandments of God. So the Christ is going to stick by what the Lord, what the Most High say wrote in the scriptures. So you claiming Christ, you also got to be able to hold, you got to hold the scriptures down. You got to be willing to walk in the scriptures, which passeth knowledge, meaning it passed what you think. That you might be filled with all the fullness of God. So what is the fullness of the Lord? Concerning the situation we're talking about, Sirach 26, 1 and 2, making the guy happy. And not happy time only when you guys sleep. Or he's happy, guys, she made a good casserole. You know, I don't even think people make that anymore. You youngsters don't make that, do they? Tuna casseroles? They don't know what that is, do they? Oh, wow. They frying them. Who knows what that is? Yeah. You just, that's an old school meal.
They used to use shepherd's pie instead of tuna casserole.
Well, we ain't talking about shepherd pie. Tuna casserole. Made your casserole, come in a dish, got all the meal and ingredients, the meat, noodle in it, sauce, everything. You say that's why you put dash on me? Dirty. Now, what is it? It's a lasagna now. That's what the youngsters make, the lasagna. She make a bad lasagna. You happy now, huh? It ain't the lasagna, though. It's the scriptures. Casserole, that was the go-to meal. When you watch TV and you see people go and they bring a dish to the neighbor's house or some welcoming dish, it's a casserole. Think about it. You ever seen pictures like that? It ain't a lasagna, it's a casserole. Got noodles and tuna in it and stuff like that. All right. Verse 19, Ephesians 3:19. So you must know what the love of Christ is, that pass your knowledge, that you may be filled with the fullness of God, filled with the fullness of the Most High. So why is this so important? I pay attention because now the Spirit is moving me. Why is it so important that sisters comprehend like what I'm bringing out in the scriptures, and that they be filled with the fullness of the Most High? Why is that so important? Lim, you look like, I ain't getting back at you because you put dash on me. He was out there like this.
Why is it important for a woman to know what it takes? Because, They just stick around for having a, I guess, happy marriage on her behalf.
Having a happy marriage or what else?
On her behalf.
On her
What she's
behalf.
supposed to do.
Okay, anybody else? Why is it so? Okay, Jeremiah, why is it so important?
So in Matthew 7 and 24 through 27, it explains how we are to build our house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two examples. One is founded upon a rock, that's the Most High, and established through knowledge and understanding of the scriptures. The other is going about the way the man sees fit. And there are plenty of the precepts to explain and to
Just
support.
use your own words. Why is it so
If
important?
if a woman cannot help guide the household in the right direction, it's bound to fall. And if it doesn't fall between the husband and wife, it'll fall through the children at some point.
Okay. Why is it so important? It's so, sisters, it is so important that you get this together. Psalms 144. So Jeremiah was he was right. I guess he just didn't say it. Using the scriptures. Okay. So here in Psalms 144, David was asking the Lord to deliver him from bad people. So I'm going to start at verse 12. It says that our sons may be plants grown up in their youth, that our daughters may be as cornerstones, polished after the similitude of a palace. So if our daughters are polished, the daughters are meant to build the house. So it's so important that sisters get it right, because if you don't get it right, you're like the glue that holds the family together. If you are a terrible and horrible person, you might not think you're terrible. You might think you're horrible. You don't, as a matter of fact, you don't. But if you're not doing the work, your house will come to nothing. Let's read this again. It says, our sons may be grown up in their youth, meaning being able to make conscious decisions that lead them like they're grown. They're not grown, but they're not sinning. They're making the right choice. Our daughters may be as cornerstones. So when you start building a house, you start with the corner of a building. I've said it for the last couple of weeks. So a man wants to start building a house, or a woman, she wants to be a building in a house. She's going to say, okay, pick me, pick me. Pick me, pick me. The sister's going to say, pick you, pick you. So you're going to go and you're going to start and be the cornerstone, but you're not going to work out. You won't lay grounded on the foundation. You rock. You won't level out. You're not squared. Square meaning have a straight edge, and one side is flat and square, and the other side is flat and square. That's how you got to be. But you're like, no, you won't. This stone is not shaped like that. This stone is like a circle. It's rounded, it's crooked, it's lopsided, it's lopsided. It won't sit down. It's a nice looking stone, but it's not compliant. It's not meant to start this thing off. In order to build with you as a woman, you got to be a certain way. And you can't be the way any other way outside of the scriptures. You could be perfect in your mother's sight. You can be the first damsel on the block, the cutest girl at work. But if the scriptures are not involved in your life to where it is the light of your life, you don't qualify. The scriptures talk about a jewel in the snout of a swine. So is a damsel without discretion. Yeah, give me time to recover. You know, and people, a lot of people, they don't think that's be like, well, this is not me. If you don't have discretion, it's you. If you're doing what you want to do, it's you, and you got to get yourself right before you enter into the covenant of marriage. You can feel that you want to, but do you truly qualify? You can get into a marriage and get rejected, or you can get there and be accepted. So I'm going to finish 144 and 12. It says she's polished. Polished is finished. That means this thing is ready. So as a woman, you should be ready. The commandments come first. Go back to Ecclesiastes chapter 26. And 20. Ecclesiastes 26 and 20. I'll start at 19. It says, my son, keep the flower of thine age sound. So a lot of people, you in your youth, that's the flower that it's talking about while you're in your youth. So as a woman, you should be very strong. As a woman, being strong. Strong in mind, body, soul, your spirit, everything. You should be strong. And give not thy strength to strangers. Okay. You're not supposed to give yourself over to a person that's outside of the scriptures, outside of the faith. A man's strength is his child. It's his firstborn child. As a woman, let's say your strength, your firstborn child. You're not supposed to do that. Somebody needs some help. You're not supposed to give your child, open up yourself to where you have somebody's child. Many sisters don't believe that children is going to come from that first act. Those are seeds. That's what that is. That's not water. Those are seeds. You are being seeded for something to grow. That's why the scriptures tell you not to. There's so many things that has to come before that. And if you're having those type of thoughts and you're having those type of emotions and feelings, you shouldn't be anywhere in the vicinity of the opposite sex, because that means then you're going to become vulnerable and pressured. The other person going to be pressured. Your feelings and your flesh will pressure you as well to go through, to get involved. And the timing could be wrong. Not could be, the timing will be wrong. Why? Because this is a soul that's not proven. You're not ready for that. So Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 20 now, when thou hast gotten a fruitful possession, first and foremost, a woman should be fruitful. Getting married in your youth, nothing wrong with it. You should be fruitful though. How many sisters would struggle with the first part of what we were talking about that subjection factor, or that factor of, having the mindset of the man over your own mind that you grew up with? Being honest, how many sisters, young sisters, would have an issue with that? Okay. So having an issue with that, do you understand that that's a obstacle that you would have to work on first? Because if you got into a marriage, then there would be fighting, contentions, arguing, disagreements. And do you know what fights do? Fights turn you off. They don't turn you on. And when I'm saying turn you off, I'm not talking about sexually. It makes you not interested now. Yeah, it makes you not value the person the way that you value them. And married couples, they have to recover over and over from that. That's a hard battle. That's a hard fight. That's a hard obstacle to get over. But because we believe in the scriptures are forcing us to do it, and we have to do it. But it'd be an uphill battle and an uphill fight. So you got to be fruitful. Yes, go ahead.
Right. So real quick, let's go to 1 Thessalonians 5. So the way that you be fruitful in that portion that was just said, as far as the rule, see, the way you prepare yourself, like what's kind of coming out to be a wife is to be like what we read, a virtuous woman. And the way you grow to be subject unto a husband, it would even start before being subject to a man. So it's 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 12. And this is for you sisters as well as brothers. So it says, and we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you and are over you in the Lord, and admonish you. So here it is, even now at this present state of being single, you have to know who's over you in the Lord. You got teachers and those that teach you and admonish you and counsel you, right? And then verse 13 says, and to esteem them how? It says very highly in love for their work's sake. So if you now at this present state can't even esteem a teacher or somebody that's admonishing you, because in marriage, the respect typically goes out the window during what time? Admonition. When you've been admonished. So if you got to have a fruit, this fruit has to be instilled in you now before you could even think about marriage. Because if it's not instilled in you now, then that's why you would struggle with allowing yourself to be ruled by somebody. Because if you allow yourself to be ruled now, which is allowing somebody to teach, admonish, and be over you, that's simple. It's not a hard thing to do. But if you struggle with it now, work on it now by knowing those that the Most High has put over you, and then practice and bring yourself into the subjection to where you have the ability to now esteem them highly. Why? For their work's sake. Because what is the work? Them trying to increase you. So this would help brothers and sisters, but especially sisters, with not having a problem with being in subjection to a husband. So if you're not allowing somebody to teach you and admonish you now, and you're not esteeming them now, then you would continue to struggle, and that would be a problem, in the marriage. So this is how you help that. You work on that now by the teachers and the ones that's correcting you and showing you the way. You yield yourself to them, and then you give them that esteem, meaning that glory for the thing that they're doing and trying to show you and teach you the way.
All right. So what he's saying is true. And for the most part, I guess I have my own opinion, not different from what he's saying, but, concerning different people, when I deal with them, with the scriptures, if you're as a young woman, if you're in subjection to me without any issues and problems, then you will make it. You'll be okay in a marriage with, somebody that's you caring for, showing you the scriptures and pumping your brakes and stuff like that. Because when I come out the scriptures, I could be pretty deep, pretty detailed, and pretty firm at times. And, and if you could take that, like the scripture said, let the righteous smite me, it shall be a precious oil that shall not break my head. If you survive in that, then you'll survive marriage. But, if you're running and nobody did anything to you and stuff like that, you ain't gonna let no man rule over you. And you're not ready. Because you haven't, like the scriptures that he just brought out, you haven't put yourself in a situation. And see, that's the reward for the righteous that waits upon the Lord. The Most High will always come through. So don't, don't be afraid. You might be ready. But overcome your insecurities. Get yourself together. Know what you're getting into, knowing, do some investigation, knowing what you know what you're gonna get into. You know, uh, like I said, I had this conversation. I think about a lot more than you could ever imagine. The youth, you're all young. A lot of you are not married. You want to be married, but you got to take some winning steps to make it make sense. You have to take some winning steps. Sisters, got to get grounded in this. Got to get this, or you're going to be rejected. You're going to be talking about how he brought out the worst in you. No, the worst was already there. You bringing it back out.
It's crazy.
And guys, guys, you got to get the ground beneath your feet and get something to where you can support a family. You know who goes to the store without any money? A thief. So there ain't no shopping on the sister side, and you going through your own hardships. And, I only got $2, and you got a sad story and a smooth explanation, and you a nice guy. Well, nice guys don't pay bills. Hard-working men pay bills. So you got to get yourself together. And I think that's one thing. So let me just put it out there. If there are deficiencies, that would be one deficiency with a lot of men in Israel. A lot of men are not settled and grounded. They hard workers, but it's spats. You've got to have. You can't hate labor's work. You got to be the type of person that have a history and a foundation where you building on to where a woman is an addition, not you looking to the woman to help. Hey, can you help? Help me over here. I need some help over here. But you should have these things. Do anybody not understand that? Somebody can say it another way. Say it, man, nice and loud.
Really know what you said. You gotta have money. You gotta not.
You can't hear that.
You gotta have your stuff in order. If you want a woman, you gotta be able to provide and take care of him. The water was bringing it out today about the men. You can't be a brother with. You gotta have more than one vehicle. Because your wife gonna need to go to the store. She gonna need to do things, and not having. If you just out here, you ain't got. You ain't have to have. You don't have to be the most skilled man. But hating laborers work is gonna be a lot. When you get a house, you're gonna have to fix on a lot of stuff. You're gonna have to maintain a lot of stuff, or you're gonna be calling some other man. Then you're gonna have to worry about. Well, I'll be here. What time should I come? Well, I get off work at. And then because you hated laborers work, you didn't like doing laborers work. Or, if you don't know how to do it, you don't know how to do it. I'm not an electrician, so I'm definitely going to be calling him out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about him now. You know what I'm saying? He'll watch your brother. But I'm just saying, you got to have a lot of stuff in order. You know what I'm saying? Man, mostly spiritual, but on the carnal side also, you have to be prepared for a woman. Because hearing all the excuses as to why you're not working, why you ain't doing this, why I don't want you know how to do this. I don't know how to do that, baby. You know, I change the top flat. No, I'm gonna call my brother. You know, she ain't want to hear that. You know, so I mean, you definitely gotta. You see a lot of them, like a lot of the brothers in the assembly, they do laborers work, and a lot of the single brothers, they do it with them, and they be like, "Dang, I like this," but not everybody like it. And some of the brothers that's okay, we put you on a job or you work with another brother. Brothers know if you don't like laborers work or not. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be running from work because you run from work now, you're gonna run from work when you got to put in work when you have a wife. So that's it.
So you don't have, right, you don't necessarily have to be a construction worker. What you have to be is a worker. So that's what you have to do. You have to be a worker. And you know, I don't want you to be a worker with potential. Jeremiah.
What?
I want you to pay attention. Okay. I don't want you to have potential. I want you to be in it. You see the difference? You got it. You have those things. You have the foundation. You have it going for you already. Not that you're going to get it. Because how long have you been going to get it? And a woman to an addition is going to make it worse. It's not going to make it better. No. No. It's not going to make it better. People be talking about, oh, we're going to get 2 incomes. She's going to be pregnant and now she can't work. That's worse. Because now you just added that situation to the stress that you already had. Go ahead.
I got this precept that I'm thinking of. It's Deuteronomy 22 and 8. And I was just talking about this to the brother. But there's 2 things that I'm looking at. When I'm seeing this precept, especially for young brothers, that you really got to consider. First, it says in Deuteronomy 27 says, verse 8, it says, when thou buildest a new house, then thou shalt make a battlement for thy roof. And that's it, because the battlement was it's like the castle where you got the men on there protecting the castle from anybody coming to siege it anything. But what I see in this is, you ain't necessarily have to be the one building it, but it did cost money for Moses to be told, to be telling the brothers, hey, look, when you build a house, do this. And then he's saying, when you build a new house, and my point is, why you building a house? Because Abraham had many servants, and a lot of them probably had children and wives, but most of them probably didn't. He had 300 armed men. But right here, it says, when you build a house, make a battlement for that roof. So you either was the one building it, or you had a lot of money to pay somebody to be able to do this. So I'm just showing that it costs and it takes a lot. If you don't do the work, you're gonna have to do some type of work to even be able to provide something like that. And this is what our forefathers did. They was told to do that. Build a house so secure that can't nobody come up against it, and you gotta straight do this. This was a requirement. As a poor man. This ain't talking about the women, this is talking about when a man build a house, this is what you're supposed to do.
So let me ask you, are there any young men that want to be married? This is no, raise your hand nice and high. Let me see. Young brothers want to get married. Okay. Okay. So go back to Ecclesiastes. Yeah, chapter 29. Well, you do it in Thessalonians the water.
Mhm.
Okay. So Ecclesiastes chapter 29 and verse 21. It says the chief thing in life is water and bread. So we got that in clothing. We got that. But then it says in what? In a house to cover shame. So, brothers, you need a house. You need a house. Right now, you're operating at the capacity of being able to take care of yourself. But right now, you cannot go beyond that, even though some might think they can. No, you can't. So you need a house. Now, my suggestion is I'm willing to help any brother along the fashion on trying to get house. The first thing you got to do is you got to start saving. You got to sacrifice. You got to save your money. You have to sacrifice. Christ said, no man builded a house first without sitting down and counting the cost. You got to have a plan. The first thing you do is save. So all the brothers that said that someday they want to be married, stop thinking about the woman for now. Think about a house and start saving. Now, you see what I got going next door? That's the worst. You don't have to be like that. There are levels to it. I only got that because look how convenient it is. I was right not to pass it up. But typically, you can get something that you can go in and you just, decorate it to the way that you want it. Actually, you just go and paint. I would not suggest that you get any loans because you'll be paying those back forever. Yes, Esau going to sell you a 30-year loan and this and that. I'm going to make the payment affordable and so on and so forth. So humorously saying $20 on the principal and the others and the other $700 is going to be in interest. He's going to be looking for you to die and he can take it back. So he just made money off it. No loans. Remember I told you that now? You can get you something that you can fix. Now, if you don't want something, say, I don't want something I can fix. I would still just then save more money. Save it all. Save everything you get. Save, save, save. Because someday, you're like, I want a wife. Now, for those of you that you don't want to do that type of stuff, fine. You want to take it your way? Fine. If you have a job to where you could afford a mortgage payment, then that's what you're going to do. But you will see once you learn about finances and stuff like that, and you learn that no matter how many months you pay, you still forever away from paying it off, then you'll wish that you had listened. Then you'd been wish I could have took another deal because all this thousands of dollars I'm paying, I could have been had that. So the first thing is a house, not the woman. Not the woman. The woman don't come first. The house come first. So there's more. Why did it say to cover shame? Because there are certain things that you have to deal with within yourself or within the relationship that it has to get dealt with at home. So you need a house to do that. You can't be out in the streets doing that. If you're out in the streets doing that, it's embarrassing for people to see you out fussing and arguing and cussing and acting certain ways between you and the woman. She's lost control of her temper. You lost control of your temper. You're supposed to take that at home. Verse 22, it says, better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage. What's a mean cottage? The building next door. That sucker is mean. Then delicate, wait. Then delicate fur, meaning you got everything you want. Your money is precious. You got a pocket full of change in another man's house. So you staying in somebody else's house thinking you jamming. Like, you ain't jamming. If you want to be married, you need your own. Even if it's mean, it's yours. You can always spruce it up. Dollar store got the welcome mat. They got the colored bathroom set. Baby girl got some skills. Right? Put those stickers on the wall. What the stickers say? Hey. Hey, welcome. Welcome. Pumpkin's Kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Then it says, verse 23, be it little or much, hold thee contented. So you might not be able to get up there and have a lot. He's like, I don't want it because it ain't what I want, so I'm holding out. Hold content that thou heard not the reproach of thy house. What is thy house in this situation here? No, it's you and your household. You and her and what y'all got, y'all in need, y'all and somebody else's, you know. You're a guest. Now you're hearing the reproach of what y'all go through, because every household gonna have something that they experience or something that they going through. Now you're in the midst of some other people with that. And to show it says, for it is a miserable life to go from house to house. Now you got to take you and her and your children somewhere else, because you're in war to welcome out this, that, and the third. When all you had to do as a man was get yourself together first. Sisters, if the guy ain't got himself together, that should be a hope right there. Like, you should put on hold, like, yo, man, you got to get together. You don't bypass all of this, but many people bypass all this and they end up in these harmful situations. We be out in the street seeing people homeless together. They love each other. Now, I don't make fun of them. I don't laugh at them. I'm just saying that this guy dragging this woman across the street. Then it get to the point to where a lot of times people will give a woman, they won't give the guy because they figure that the guy should be doing something like somewhere working or something. So they separate one on this side of the street and the other on that side of the street. When you see a woman, all you gotta do is just keep scanning, do a 360, look around. You're gonna end up seeing a man somewhere. That's her man. He told her to go over there because they'll give to a woman, damsel in distress. They give him quarters and nickels and pennies to give her dollars and fives. 10, somebody gave her a 20. Here, get it. I hope this helps you. The guy right over there waiting. So you don't want to be out there like that. When we was all turning this roof off, I told guys I'll help them. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
I will. I help each and every last one of you. I'll help you. I mean, I can't do it out of my pocket. But you got to do it out your pocket. You got to save. You got to save. If you get something inexpensive, show you what to do, how to do it. Every time I'm in the vicinity of the store, I got my little traps and stuff. I pull over, go through, look for the clearance, grab this, grab that. I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need that, and then put that stuff to use. You could do it. Excuse me. Don't you think they can do it, the water? Definitely got the youth and got the energy, don't they? All you gotta do is apply yourself, Smokey. If they apply themselves, they'll get it done, huh? You don't have to sign in. Oh, I got the wife at home, and you ain't got that sign in. You got 6 days you can work. Just think, man, 6 days you going and doing your own thing. Oh, please. Y'all age. I was working on 2-3 houses at the same time. I was leave work and spend lunchtime going working. Man, I was doing all kind of stuff. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. You ain't got no house. That's strange to me. Shit, I better not. I got people walking past me like, yeah, I'm thinking about selling. Like, what does that say? Yeah, I'm thinking about selling. Trying to get me to buy your house. Who was out there?
I will.
Didn't it happen?
Yeah.
Say. Come on, man. You stay in a land full of cheap houses. That's on you. I can't do it for you. And I can't run up behind you every day to get up, because that might be offensive to you then. Every time I try and push what I do on somebody, now they offended some type of, and I'm apologizing. I apologize, brother. I don't mean to force you to be the best you can be. Get your house so that your wife can have a place over her head, so when she's pregnant, Yes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, but that's what it takes. I didn't know I had to do that. You didn't know you had to do that? A man got to have some savings. Got to have some savings. Even if it takes telling the gang, nah, I can't go out to eat. Yeah, I can even go out to eat. I'm still looking for it. Where y'all specials at? Surely you got some specials. Give me the water. I drink water. I gotta buy a bag of mortar tomorrow. I'm building a house. Why you so cheap? Why you getting this? Because I'm building a house. I gotta put that money in the house. Come to lunch, I'm gonna bring my food. Drink my drink from the home, because I gotta buy a 2x4. Y'all running up behind every store, buying everything you see. It's not possible to buy something like that for yourself. Go ahead, man.
I just have a question. I was gonna ask y'all, like, most of the men, and the sisters too, like most of the men in our families or that you grew up around or that you consider your friends and partners or whatever, how many of them do y'all know of that like really bought a house, you know, at a young age or even in their late? A lot of y'all know people like that that bought houses.
Yeah.
A lot of people or a few people. Because most of our men are not taught to go and get a house first. The first thing they go and get is a baby mama. Because the very first thing they get is a baby mama. And a lot of the partners I had in the world sleeping on couches, literally sleeping on couches, supposedly in the gang, selling drugs, and got baby mamas all over. Still to this day, hanging out in one person house, you know, and everybody in there doing their thing. All of them got baby moms and kids, no house. Some of them ain't got cars. And my question is, why are these women picking men without houses?
Because they don't live.
You pick a man, and like Sam said, you ain't even got nowhere to go and wash your behind. After y'all get done, you just there. And that's a strange concept for the sisters in our community. When you meet a man and say, you got a house? You ask him where you work, or you say what you like to do and how cool you look and this and that. But 99% of the people that I know, that's a man, and a lot of sisters, they have houses. But men, they not raised to, the first thing you do is get a house. You raised to be in what they call a trap house. I'm in a trap. You know what I'm saying? You in a trap, and then you out of a hotel, and then you at the Holiday Inn, you know, and you ain't got a house. And so that I just, the majority of the men that I know, 99% of them don't have a home, don't have a house that they call their own, because they were raised to just go out and not get a house for the baby mama. They got a baby mama before everything on earth. Before they had a job, they had a baby mama. But the daughters pick these men in high school, out of high school, whatever, without a job, without a house, without a plan, appearance. And all these scriptures are talking about the chief thing and how brothers, our forefathers knew this is an order. You gotta get a house before you can even, you ain't looking at no woman without a house. And if you don't got a woman, you need to be saving up for a house or staying with your parents or staying with family instead of trying to, you know, jump on her and get a baby mom. That's it.
So, question. Raise your hands again. Who thought about marriage? Okay. So this is new. You didn't raise it before.
I was distracted. I'm sorry.
You weren't paying attention. Now you want to be married? All right, I'm just giving you a hard time, man. Okay, so let's start with your short. Okay. So, your short, would you be interested in financing a house or a fixer upper?
Fixer upper.
Okay, fixer upper. Start saving. Jeremiah. What did he say? There was the man.
my original plan was to go for a duplex first.
Fix it.
It could be fixed up.
But you don't really like the construction part.
I don't mind the work. Like the work is just is what it is. I don't like the health conditions. So if I got the proper stuff to keep my health in mind, then I can do anything.
It was just enough of
Grab it up so I take it. Because the work isn't difficult. Like anybody can swing a hammer or do whatever's required. My schooling background is in electrical,
So that may pay you. You got to keep. No, wait a second though. I've known it to pay you well. So you know what you got to do? You got to be patient.
yeah, I know.
And let me show you the scripture here. Ecclesiasticus. I had to show this to a brother earlier today. Ecclesiasticus chapter 36. Ecclesiasticus 36 and verse 16. It says, reward them that wait for thee. So you go through hard times, you're making a fraction of the payment of the pay that you make doing with electronics and engineering and stuff like that. But you're waiting for the Most High to come through according to his promises, that if you keep the commandments, that he will bless you. So you got to be found faithful. It says, and let thy prophets be found faithful. So if you stay faithful in an application, the Most High gonna see that and reward you. You don't have to be a construction worker. That's not everybody's field right there. But like I told you before, if that's what's available, take it, because that's what the Most High is saying. Hey, you're gonna need this at some point or another in your life. It could be a skill set that you possess. Like then Lynn was saying, you end up with a house and now you need to fix the floor, you need to fix a window, you need to do this, you can do that stuff. You're not afraid to get hands-on in your own place, but you don't have to take something from the ground up and rebuild it. You understand? You don't have to, we're not forcing you to do that, but we are advising you that if that's what the Lord is allowing, go do that until the Most High opens up what it is your desire is and give it to you. All right? All right. So you have to save. Okay, Corey?
I want to finance one first, and then, like, if I get the chance, I'll build another one up.
Okay, you'd like to finance one. So then you'd have to hold down some type of job, because they will not give you and trust you with, let's just say, 70, 80,000. And that's a low end, 70, 80,000, 100,000. And you got 6 months on a job or even a year on a job. That's stretching it. You see, because they don't want to not get paid. So they're going to look at work history. So you'd have to maintain some type of paper trail so that you can show that you're going to be able to pay this loan back. Okay? That's what you're going to need. Who's the next guy? Okay, a Bunyan. You say you want to get married? Eventually. Like tomorrow?
No.
Okay. I'm ready. You ready to pull the trigger? Trigger man. Come on, shooter.
I'm gonna try to build
I'm sorry.
it.
See, I give him some trouble too, Jabril. Real rougher than this. What's wrong with me now? I want to get married. It's okay to change your mind. You just can't do it on your wedding day.
That's
Like,
fine.
I changed my mind. She's like, this nigga's crazy. Why he changed his mind? Your sister threw the handcuff off. You can't do that. You change your mind on wedding day, bro.
That's the thing.
All right, you're gonna go through with it, Willie. You at the big one now.
You gotta confuse somebody else.
All right. So, all right, Mr. Gunn. Finance or build from the ground up?
Build.
You build it. All right. Save. Well, you could have bought your house 10 times over by now. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you gotta say, I'm gonna show you guys how easy it is in a minute. Okay. And did you change your mind too, Sequoias?
It's not in a bad way, it's just,
She's just not ready.
yeah.
And I knew a girl that was interested. She's like, who, Sham?
I'll be honest, I'm fake way afraid of marriage. I'll be honest.
You're afraid of it? And I know a girl interested.
Because
Yeah, you change your mind.
it comes with not the responsibility part, but the simple fact that I understand when it comes to relationships, things go up and down, but just having to, I guess, since I'm young, just having to deal with the back and forth, the back talk, stuff like that. Because I examine a lot of marriages in the the body. So when it comes to stuff like that, I actually.
You say about my wife.
Don't
let
it's
the
just
words come out about my wife again.
I'm very skeptical on things like that, and I walk with precaution.
And as you should, and that's the reason why. That's what we're talking about today. Having a, gloves off talk today on what it's gonna take. Young sisters, you should, plan to get married, but along the way, plan to surrender. Like, yo, I give up my way and my will. I got to apply the scriptures. I understand this. And don't do it just, to be with the guy, because the guy is going to require that every day, all day of every week. He's going to, that's a requirement. And so, okay, so sisters or change, you just got to get yourself, if in the future, because we're talking about futuristic, we're not talking about, tomorrow, next week. We're talking, in your future, in the forecast, you would expect someday to be married.
Yeah.
Okay, right. There you go. So then you got to save and have a foundation for that. You got to plan for that. You can't just start liking a girl and then all of a sudden y'all playing, oh, well, we said this and that, and we're gonna get an apartment together and our two incomes because we was planning to part to do this. That stuff don't work. I mean, it can work, but typically.
Right.
And hey, I'm gonna tell you something else. Sister, I gotta say it another way. Right? Say it in Morse code. Hey, real talk though. I'm gonna show you in the scriptures. All right. Ecclesiasticus chapter 25. in 22. Try this way if you want and see what happens. It says a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, imprudence, and much reproach. What do you think that means? No, it just the whole fact of her having to maintain you.
You stay at home with her husband. She's angry and sad. I should never break that.
She like, hey, no good, ain't good for them. He don't do, he can't eat.
If her input, and this is not every case. Wait a second. So because there are some situations to where you have to thrive and make this work out. So it's not 100%. But there are some cases, if her input is equal to your input, you're going to have a problem from that. She's going to have a problem from that because she feels that you're supposed to have it. And when you get her imprudence, that's the not wise. Like you did this, that's not wise to do that. It's that you made her equal to you to where she could make this choice. She's feeling, she said, if you're not smart enough to be lead and smart enough to be dominant and smart enough to supersede and be head in all things because you got it, boss, then she made the decision on her own. And why is she doing that? Because she's putting in here and she's putting in probably equally there. Brothers out here is depending on the woman. Oh, you pay this, you pay that, and y'all financially equal to what y'all paying. Every case ain't like this because there are some households that have to thrive and they get along well like that. That's not the household that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones that the woman, she has an issue because of that. And then oftentimes men are coming back for their money. She's helping pay her and helping pay that. And sisters, be ready to do that. You should help pay. You should help. We're in captivity, and hey, you ain't paying nothing. You say I ain't paying nothing. You want the red carpet laid out here? And the gold card was a black card. Want to shop all day. So the old women like that. Want to shop all day and shop all night. Be picked up and you better be on time. And gonna give you some problems if you ain't on time. Full of anger, imprudence, and much reproach, meaning much disrespect. And there are a lot of cases to where guys, they just don't have it. In between jobs. In between jobs. This job is an ends to a mean. Means to an end, very same thing. Ends to a mean, that's the right way. Right? Means to an end. Which one is it?
Means to an end.
It's a means to an end. Okay. But it's not stable, or what they would call career bound. Yeah, we have the commandments, but you also have to be diligent too. You gotta have the skill set. So sisters, you gotta see that when you see a guy. Look, this guy is grounded and settled. You gotta know that part about him. He's stable. He's got this. He's got that. You got to put all that together. You can't just look at. He's got brown eyes. Shit, he broke. His baby's gonna have brown eyes too, and y'all three gonna be broke. Now it's three of y'all, three broke people with brown eyes. That's all you got is some brown eyes. Got nowhere to stay. Nobody never told me these things. I learned them from the scriptures. I wish, but the Lord subjected me through these situations and hope, and now I came out seeing all this. Man, some folks wouldn't have been born in my bloodline. If I'd have had these smarts in, I'd be sharp. We made no mistakes. Yeah, I know. Literally. Who knows right and do the wrong thing? Not me. No. And you guys are getting it the right way. And if you don't pay attention and you don't listen, you're going to have the life that I had that was full of regrets and misery. And a lot of people, they be grown up like, I don't have no regrets. All right. I can't argue with you. I don't argue with nobody. All right, you don't have no regrets. But deep down inside, the situation that they went through that was negative, it hurts. And nobody likes pain. And they wouldn't go through it again. So that's within itself, that's a regret. So the objective is trying to teach you. Yeah, trying to teach you not to have regrets. Go ahead.
I want to say something because what's coming out is weighty. And the perspective as far as like the man gotta have, twice as much. He gotta come with everything.
Do you see how hard I work?
I'm hearing that, but
oh, you finna get to that point?
Hear me out.
Okay, let me hear you out.
So
you think that's for nothing? When I was by myself, I stayed in a little bitty house and drove a 2-seater. Ever since then, I've been cutting my fingers off, sewing them back on, blinded with all kind of stuff, trying to keep up. But I'm hearing you out. Go ahead.
So,
but do you see? No.
so I'm coming to a perspective to where we have to fulfill the scripture, and I think it'd be how should I say it? It'd be a dream come true to find a man that's gonna have everything and give you whatever your heart desires, pay for all of the bills, come with the crib, 2 cars, etc. So, and it's being taught. I feel like if that's the standard for the man, then the woman need to be flawless.
What do you think we're asking them to do? We're asking them to work out their lives, get settled and grounded to where they comprehend, they understand what they should be doing. That's, they'll be flawless in your sight. If my wife is doing what I'm asking, that's flawless. If she's doing what I'm asking her to do and she's a step ahead trying to fulfill and make sure that her mind is after my mind and I ain't finna have no issue with what's going on, that's flawless. I'm happy with that. I couldn't ask for much more. I'm not judging her complexion, how tall she is, her weight. I'm evaluating what are you doing in this relationship? Because we got to relate. We got to be a 1-2 thing. Okay, go ahead, Lynn.
I was just, so you saying that the man has a house, and all those different things and stuff. You saying that a woman should be perfect, or should it be, which
our job is to earn all of those things as far as financial responsibility, and we have to see to it. I'm only saying the woman and her perspective, she should see to it being exactly what these scriptures are saying and don't fall short. Like we can't fall short because it's like, why would you bring all of this to the table for somebody to trample through what you have basically laid out for them to have with bad behavior, not listening, live life how they want to live, or like give you a hard time when you the man. But they not treating you like you the man. They treating you like it's democracy.
So you're gonna have trouble in the place. And a woman ain't gonna be, you gotta go through stuff. And I'm not saying it's okay for a woman to be a certain type of way, but you have to be like Christ, man. And there's gonna be some times where she go off and you definitely gonna go off. But you still can't put your requirements based off her requirements. Because as a man, and I can correct me if I'm wrong, Shannon, but you gotta have a house. That's common. The things you're talking about are spiritual things that, yeah, it'd be great to have, but having a house don't mean you will be having patience. You know what I'm saying? As a man, you might not be, you might have a house, but you might need to work on, I'm speaking by experience, you might have to be more patient. You might have to learn how to be more Christ-like. And having a house, how I see it, that's, Christ got a bride, and his bride is needing work. So, I mean, I think that having a house, it'd be good to have a woman that's perfect and then obey all the time and all that stuff, but I don't see that that's likely, then more than likely gonna be 100% happening.
But do you see what I'm asking, Sam? Like,
I understand.
work your fingers to the bone and then come home to
A choice that you made. No, that settles it. Work your fingers to the bone and come home to the choice that you made. Right? So choose wisely. Now, Ecclesiasticus chapter 26 and 14. It says, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord. So when we please the Most High knows how to give. If a gift from man is one thing, but a gift from the Most High, every man is looking for something. You should be desirous of the gift from the Most High. So if the Most High gives you the gift is going to be perfect. Now, if you go out and get it, then you're going to have some hard times. You're going to have the trouble that you're talking about. So make sure, now go to Proverbs chapter 6. And this goes vice versa to sisters too. Proverbs chapter 6. In verse 1. My son, thou be surety for thy friend. That's why I said you got to make sure. If thou stricken thy hand with a string, so it goes all the way back to someone that's strange. Sometimes smiling and partying and having a good time and somebody being dainty and all of that will lose sight of the significant qualifications that it takes to truly be qualified. We'll lose sight of that because our mind was like, oh, our mind is telling us this. It says, if thou hast stricken thy hand, thou art snared. And what put me in this position? It says the words of thy mouth, because you sold yourself. You convinced yourself, you persuaded yourself that this was the one. They should speak. So you've been in the truth for a while. Haven't you seen people be around and stumble and fall? People be around and walk out. People be around, cut up and clown. People be around and no change. And want you to feel sorry for them because, and not judge them. They don't want you to evaluate. They don't want you to line up their behavior with what the Bible says. They just want to be ignored. Ignore me. Don't pay no attention to me. You marry somebody like that, that's what you coming home to. And you're a grinder. You're like, oh, I'm a grinder. Hey, man, righteous brothers could go off too. In the day of your righteousness, you could commit a sin like that. Give yourself to a light woman because she's cute. Oh, don't nobody want, you don't want nobody else to have her. I see. We supposed to, with fear and trembling, work out our salvation. This is not just a go catch a girl, get a girl situation. You gotta, with fear and trembling, you gotta walk the walk. Do this now, my son, and deliver yourself. When thou art coming to the hand of thy friend, go. Humble yourself. Stop. Humble yourself and make sure. So for you to stop, go and humble and make sure, right, Javon? For you to do that, that means it's something that you wasn't doing before. A lot of times correction is it is supposed to jar us and it's supposed to put us on a path that we weren't on before, even though we think we're on a path. Tell them what you just commented, and let me see. So G said, but don't bring it because it's required, but do it because the love you have for her, like you love yourself and teach her. Apply James 3:17. So G, you probably need to be up here so I could, so you can say. I think it's a little bit late. You're not here. Okay. All right. So back to Ecclesiastes 26. So when we went to Psalms 144, and I had asked, so I was giving everybody, so Bun,
Yes, sir.
you said buy or build, something like
Bill.
that? Bill?
Yeah,
Okay.
Bill.
Yeah, save. You literally got to save and stop spending. Okay, so talk to Bo, and you say you Obadiah?
Yeah.
Said someday you wanted to be married? All right, you got to save. And you say you don't mind building? Every time we be doing stuff, you uninvite yourself. Yeah. So listen up. So those of you that said Bill, but you afraid of dust, don't get a house that you have got to, because it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. Don't get involved in that. You finance. Say you go ahead and let him bust you over your head so you can get you someplace safe. Okay? You afraid of dust? Don't do it. Another thing is rent. You can always rent. Find you someplace that y'all can rent. Because it's perfectly nothing wrong with that. Okay? You can rent. But don't get you no fix up because it ain't gonna get fixed. And the city's got enough deadbeat owners with properties that they ain't gonna fix. All right. So I'm trying to get through. Go ahead. What is it?
Or you can just pay brothers. You can say, hey man, how much you ever do this for? And you can pay brothers to help you build your house.
Well, see, we're gonna help out anyway. That's gonna happen anyway. But they gotta do majority of the stuff. You see how I show up when don't nobody show up? They gotta be like that. And if they don't have that type of initiative to go to their own stuff and somebody see them that they need help, then it ain't gonna get done. And you can't just, nah. You ain't even work like that. You gotta have some skill and some skill set behind it to where you're gonna do it regardless because it's yours. People will come through and help you, but stop texting, guys. All right, so Liam, I didn't want to cut you off. What else you were saying?
No, I'm just saying it's opposed from financing from the brother getting had him paying Esau forever opposed to paying brothers to build a house and get money.
Right. Okay. Yeah. But they might not have money to pay brothers to build.
It's an option opposed from paying Esau.
Yes.
You can save up money and get one thing, you save up money, get another thing knocked out. I mean, I'm saying why they're young and don't have a family now.
Right. I just see them stuck with a place. so hey, All right. And so I'm trying to, finance or rent, Obadiah, because you ain't getting. I ain't never seen you dirty. He ain't to get dirty type. Okay, and Jabril, finance or bill?
I say finance.
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 Okay, finance. Okay. All right. Save. All right. Get some savings going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to get some gold to get the girl. I like that. Some gold. Gold and to have some reserves. Like, baby, I got a house.
Like yours.
House like mine? Okay. No, he's just kind of saying something like a large house. You like big houses?
Yeah. Oh, yes, I do.
Okay. So now, listen up, guys. You can, like I've bought from private owners. I bought from the city. City houses are always trash. They like that next door. Really rough now. All the good stuff is gone. It's gleaned. No more good stuff. Um, you could. The next best thing is like maybe foreclosure. That's why you gotta save though, because foreclosures they they could be cheap, but they're not always necessarily cheap. But if your money is in place, you might be able to get something. What do I make? 15? It's up more now.
30.
Oh wow.
You don't want to do no work to it.
But
Let's say with a little work.
It's about 30. Depending on the neighborhood.
My brother just showed me more than 16. Over there off his mother. Off the circle. So it was probably not an issue. No, it was not bad.
So you can do foreclosure. Yeah. And foreclosure is somebody that's losing their house and the bank took it back and they wants to get rid of it. Instead of dealing with the neighborhood and dealing with it, it's losing value quickly. So but you got to have money in place. That's why I tell brothers you got to save. So, helping you is advising you and telling you this would be a good investment. And you might think that you could do that on your own when you can't do it on your own. I've had from bad to worse and average and good. So, I know what a good building, a good investment when it comes to building and a bad investment. Next door would be a bad investment. I wouldn't even advise anybody to take on that because it's just needed too much. But, I could take on it, but I wouldn't advise you to take on it because A, financially, B, it's just too bad of a shape unless you can do all the things that's being done. So and I'm not saying trying to take anything away from anybody. I'm just saying that the challenge is just it's exhaustive. And all of y'all been over there, so y'all know what it looked like, and y'all know what it is. But you can get places to where you can walk in and all you need to do is paint. And maybe put a different floor down that you like. Change some cabinets, stuff like that. But you gotta have money saved so that you can even buy the place. A lot of times people, I don't like this house. I'm waiting to find something like that. Trust me, I've been looking. I'm still looking. Oh, I'm waiting on, somebody to have a place. Oh, it needs updated. I know. All you gotta do is do the kitchen and stuff like that, bathroom, put some vinyl floor down and paint it, and that's it. I'll take it. To them, they ain't gonna deal with nothing like that. But to me, it's a trip to the store, pull the cabinets off, replace the cabinets, put the floor down, and spray it. Run through with a sprayer like I'm from a man from Mars. It's over. They're like, my house. Yep. Now it looks different. And you could do that too. But you can't do it if you're broke. You gotta save. So maybe make the commitment to start saving. Nobody's going to come and give you a house. Say that on 3. 1, 2, and 3.
Nobody's going to come and give you a house.
Nobody gonna come and give you a house, man. It don't work like that. Nobody gave me anything. I worked for it. You're gonna have to work for it. And she don't give me a house. No, I'm gonna make you work for it. And I'll do what nobody did for me. All the stuff I pay people to do it. That's how I learned the stuff that I know. I had to pay for it. Plumbing, electric, furnace, concrete, windows, doors, floors. I had to pay somebody to come do that. So if I'm asking you, real bro, come give me a hand. It's only you foolish not to do it. And you don't know how to do it, you're very foolish not to do it. Because I had to pay somebody to show me. And I actually would sit there and help them after I paid them. But you know what they did? They taught me to fish for a lifetime now. They don't have to feed me. I'm going to feed myself from it. So guys, you can't be lazy. Can't be the lazy disciples. You got to be the working disciples. That's how you lead and guide a family. I hope you guys understand it. So now let's go back so we can finish Timothy. 1 Timothy 5. Sisters, get yourselves together so you're not afraid when you called up to put the white dress on. What color you gonna put on? Royal blue and white, GA. We have a GA marriages. What color now?
G13 practice time.
Blue and white? That's right. Blue and white with the GA on it. With the GA.
You gonna wear white? Your best man gonna wear white too, man.
All right, so 1 Timothy 5 and 14. I would therefore that the younger women marry. So we went through getting married, what you should do, preparing yourself to get married. Because remember, sisters, think about what did the Bunyan just say? His expectations, like, so we got to do all this. He's expecting somebody to be flawless. They just showed you the expectation of a man. Not saying somebody's marrying Bunyan, but I'm just saying, you know, the mindset of a man. The man, his mind is like he wants you to be already there. So I left this part to come back to on purpose. You see where it says bear children? That means you're going to be pregnant, have children. That's what happens. This is the birds and the bees talk now. Because that's what happens. You're the guardian, and the man is providing seed. You guys are being, I don't want to say being deceived into, because it's no deceit. But the emotions that you share, the end result is to bring forth fruit to the earth. So now you have to prepare for the seed that you are bearing, that you are carrying. As a woman, you've never experienced that before. Some women have never, as a young woman, say you never experienced that before. Now you have to learn, continue to learn from your parents, even though it's your child. You got to be willing to listen. or face failure. What are some of the failures? Sickness, child sick, child bad manners, stuff like that. When you read Titus, it tells the older women to teach the younger women. Let's get that in Titus. Titus 2. Somebody got married. Titus 2 and 3. The aged women likewise. So that means she should be sober. The precept says are vigilant. Vigilant is being cautious and careful, watching and foreseeing, and responsive. She's going to be responsive to when she sees something in other sisters. Now, let's take our time and think about this. I want women, the young women, that everybody to say someday, I want to be married. You want to be married. Know that older women, when they see something pertaining to you, they may say something to you about it to straighten the situation out. Please don't take the disposition like, I don't want anybody to say nothing to me. The scriptures say, obey them that have the rule over you and submit yourselves. Here it gives them the rule over you, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. Why it's unprofitable for you? Because if you shut them out, they ain't going to say nothing to you. Now you're going to carry on in your sin. They tried according to the scriptures. They got rejected, just like Christ. He came into his own received him not. So did these sisters. They come to you and you receive them not. You can't be like that. You can't be like, oh, I know what to do, because you tired. Because you might have, well, I don't want to, I hate to, you got aught against him. I mean, he might not be the issue. He might not be the problem. You have your own thing that you got to deal with. So be prepared for someone to come into your life and mold or shape or tell you something that they see. It's the way of life. It is. Now, because in verse 2, it says men, that the aged men be sound in faith, in charity, and patience. The aged women likewise. So the aged women got to be sober, grave, very serious. So when they're talking to you, they're going to be serious, as if it's a big deal. This is going to be in relation on how you deal in your relationship, on how you deal in your marriage. Yes, temperate. Yes, she's under control. Sound in faith, meaning the structure of what they're saying to you is scriptural. And you can't take the disposition, I know. They still got to tell you. Deal charitable and be patient. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becoming holiness. So they are holy women, not false accusers, not giving much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober. That means wise. So what would an older woman teach a young woman to be wise? She's referring to, in the part that we're going to use, because it's going to go in marriage, how to deal at home. She's going to give the woman advice and say, hey, deal with this situation like this. Go into this situation like that. The woman should tell her to go home and listen. Go home and submit. Go home and be respectful. Go home and meet the demands. See what this guy is talking about. She should bring her into remembrance of the covenant that she came into. Because if you're disgruntled, if you're clamorous, if you've lied, if you've been displaced, they need to take you right back into the counsel of the Lord that you try to step away from. That's why the scriptures forbid us to go outside of the doctrine of Christ for help. It tells you that in Psalms 1:1. Don't sit in the counsel of the ungodly, because you know somebody else gonna say F that nigga. But a woman of the Lord gonna say, girl, you went off. And start telling you about you, which a lot of women don't want to hear about them. You know what they want to hear about? They want to do? They want to vent about what they disagree with the man. She's not there to talk to you about the man. She's there to talk to you about what she's witnessing pertaining to you. You're to go and figure out your husband's heart. You're to go back and get on the page of your husband's heart to try and get acceptable to him. That's the job of the woman. So it's okay to get married and bear children. Know what you're getting into. It's not a sin. What is a sin is for you to rebel against this. Once you get in, you got in for the goods, but not for the commandment's sake. Don't be taken for lust. And don't take him because you're lusting. That's finished, almost. So that it teach you to be sober, to be wise, to love their husbands, and to love their children. How to deal with your child. They give you the advice, which is love. Say, hey, take your baby to the doctor. Don't do this. Don't let that happen. You've never done this before. You never swallowed a child. Tell you about the sacrifices. You have to get up you have to get up at the crying of that baby. Don't sit there and ignore him. The baby's crying for you. You bumping him. Oh, that's you. You got to get up. The baby's crying for you. You mama, the baby crying for you. The baby they call the nipple a tit, a teat. Teat. The baby's looking for the teat. That's the breast that brings out the milk. You see? Who's tripping? You got an attitude. You want him. Nathan, get up, baby crying. You know that baby wants you. Baby want to probably get fed, get changed and everything. Who started that fight? Who brought this contention? Who brought this situation? This is something that you're supposed to know. I fathered 11 children, ain't never been woke up. Never been woke up. Change the baby. Go get the bottle. Go do this, not one time. Gee, why you look back like that? That's because your mother did what she was supposed to do. Now, it's not a sin or it's nothing wrong if the man's like, no, baby, stay sick. I got it. It's things that she be ready to get up for. I say, no, you got to get up. No, don't bother yourself. I get this. But she said, no, I got it. without a problem. She's not lazy. Oh, can you do it? I don't feel like it. Nope. But like I said, if the guy is, whatever agreement arrangement y'all work out, if it's his mind to do it, ain't no harm, no foul, no sin. That's him in his house. He's content with that. But don't, if he's asking you, babe, listen, come on now, then he's already laying it out. He wants you to grab the baby, feed the baby, tend to the baby crying for you. What should you do in that situation? Fight with him? You're going to be wrong. Y'all going to be fighting for days over that, man. Because you ain't going to stand down and he ain't standing down. Why should he stand down? Why should he stand down? Because now he just taught you something that's against his mind. For the sake of peace, he may end up doing it, but he'll never turn. He's not conforming you and shaping you to his mind. Now y'all trying to have each other's mind. See, a lot of confusion start with unlearned women that don't want to comply. And as horrible as it might sound wrong, if you just keep it simple, and you can actually, if I'm going off, you can show me, and I'll investigate it. I'll look at it. You got to come with the book, chapter and the verse or more. Say, get the book, please ask us, or get the law and the prophet. Show me something. I do understand that you should be helping each other. You're bearing children, you're raising children. The child is crying for milk. He don't have that. That's something that as a woman, you should get it. Baby is looking for you. There are some children that won't even stop crying at our embrace. They won't stop crying at our embrace. They know you. They know your feel. They know your scent. You know what? What we love about a woman, they love it even more too. They love you too. To be nestled in your softness, your caressness, your swaddle, they know that. They familiar with that. That's what they want. And you're going to torture them because you sleepy. You're going to torture them because you don't want to do it now by saying, hey, baby, get him. That's torture. That's mean to them. So for the guy to say, no, go ahead and kick in and do it, I hope y'all paying attention. Go ahead and kick in and do it because you were up late, you were tired, you were overworked, you this, you that. From the get-go, that's a part of the job description. It's going to happen. Now, there are some supermen out here. And I don't mean to sound like I'm not one of them. I'm saying that what I remember, what I can recall, it wasn't called upon, it wasn't asked of me. But there are situations I know in young couples where the confusion will start over get baby in the middle of the night. And there will be a misunderstanding and issues and problems over why you didn't get the baby. And the guy's like, you supposed to do that. That's your job. That ain't our job. That's both our job. As a woman, you should get the baby. You have something? You have something?
I mean, sometimes, man, if this is any brother, man, whoever in this situation, and your baby just screaming, crying, say you into it with your wife, you know, I'm not gonna just let my child because of a woman in their ego, but at the same time, I don't want to teach confusion. And she started thinking like, oh, that's how it's supposed to be. You got it last time. But I don't really have that problem. I don't be woke up either. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do it. Straight up. But if I'm ever up and he crying or she crying, you know, I'll get up just to help her quiet the baby down. I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a sucker for my daughter. She cried and didn't know. She needs something, I'm going to get it. But him, she gotta, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta work on that. But I ain't gonna let my ego and how I want things dictate because she upset and she having a problem. But I'm just gonna sit here and watch my baby cry, his heart out, her heart out, you know, and suffer, you know. That's
Right. So I'm not suggesting that a brother do that because Barry could be in the other room sleeping with his mama crying, and I'll hop up to go see what he's doing. That's instinct right there. I'll look in, he okay. Next thing you know, she got him under wrap. He probably woke up for something, you know what I'm saying? Nightmare or something. A cartoon went off or something in his sleep or something. Something, you know. But so I'm not saying for brothers to not kick in and see that I am teaching young women that look to get married what to expect when you get to the childbearing and you have the child and get up. When he's woken, she's calling for you. Go ahead and take care of it. Don't be so lazy and be like, well, I'm tired. Can you get it? If the guy don't mind, he don't mind. You ain't no harm, no foul. But if he's requesting and he's saying, yo, babe, nah, you know, feed the baby. I don't feel like it. That's a problem. Don't be so out of it or so lazy to where now you at odds with the man because he don't want to get up and do it. Just get up and do it. Know that that's one of your responsibilities. Add that to the list. You should be writing this down. Middle of the night, why I have to get up. That should be what wrote in the notebook. A lot of you gonna forget. Did you write this down, Jazz? One looking to get married? I think you was the only woman. You got it all. You got it all in here. Okay. Let's move on. 1 Timothy chapter 5 and 14. Turn the pages. All right. So, First Timothy 5:14. The next part says, guide the house. Guide the house. Let's go to Titus 2 and see what it's showing you. This is what I mean by guide the house. Guide the house. It says, Titus 2:5, to be discreet. Listen to the definition of discreet.
Discreet.
Can everybody hear the phone?
Discreet.
Careful and circumspect in one's speech or actions. You got to be careful in your speech. You at home. Now you have what? A husband, right? You got to be careful in your speech, what you say to him, how you behave, your actions, how you behave towards him. Especially in order to avoid causing offense. So you're supposed to be avoiding causing him offended, him being hurt, him not liking what you're doing. This is what a wife is supposed to do. You young wives, you're going to be a wife. This is what you're supposed to do. If it's going to be something he don't like in your actions, you're not supposed to do it. Not at all. Years ago, this is how I set the tone and example for this. Whenever I would do something, and if it wasn't accepted, or if it's gonna go somewhere, I wouldn't go. I say, oh, no problem, I ain't gotta go. I won't do it then. Just like that. You know what it taught the house? That if I say I don't want you to do something, then they wouldn't do it. I started it first. It's more. It says in order to avoid causing an offense. So you're supposed to be thinking in advance, let me not cause offense. Let me not cause offense. Let me not cause offense. Because it's your mind working against his mind. What is his mind? He's already showed you before a shadow of his mind. A lot of times you try to reshape it, remold it, reform it, adjust it, get it to alter, get it to change. Men are not like that. They will change their minds on their own. Let him change his mind on his own. Let him see or think, oh, I have a change of mind. And when that happens, just go with the change. But you're trying to force your mind on his mind is going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue. It's going to be a problem. Or, so you got to be careful and circumspect. Then it says, or to gain an advantage. Don't do something to get you to have so you can have it your way. You got to be careful. So Titus 2:5, discreet, chaste. Young woman, just got married.
Chaste.
Chaste. Abstaining from extramarital or from all sexual intercourse. Now, why would a young woman that's married be abstaining from is somewhat when a woman is married, interest in another man? You should not be showing interest in another man. Oh, he's fine. Oh, he's cute. Oh, he's this, he's that. You're going to scar the man and lose his respect. Can't do that. You cannot be married interest for men, other men. You got to be chaste. Your man, your husband is going to tell you, no, don't dress like that. That's going to cause attention to you. You should listen to him. You gave up the single life. You gave it up when you start showing interest. You say, oh, no more, don't want to be interested. I have found the one person on the face of the earth that God wants me to be with. So now you are now gravitating to his mind. And now if he tells you that this is what he wants you to wear, this is what he don't want you to wear, this is how he wants you to, that's what you to do. Because you're married now. Can't put that dress on. Can't put that top on. If you wasn't his wife, he couldn't tell you nothing. He couldn't say nothing to you. But you took that off the table. You have amputated the single life. You've made a choice. Now for the rest of your life, live with it. Whoring is over. Doing as you please is over. Young sisters that have not decided, you can't even flirt. Lead guys on. I'm gonna see what's up with you. He he he. We go kick. No, you can't be misleading. Leading guys on. You in the single life. You still in the single life trying to have fun, sticking your toe in the pool. No, take you in the desert where it's dry. You can't have none of that. And I know that's tough. So you have to be chaste. How do you stay chaste? The same way that you did when you were single and weren't looking. But when you do decide to be married, God willing, Most High bless you and bless y'all's wedding and y'all marriage. You get along. There's not a necessity. You love him, he loves you. Like a virtuous woman, the Bible says in Proverbs 31, he have no need of spoil. He's not even interested in nothing else. He loves you. He don't care about all this other stuff. If you're in line according to the scriptures and you're doing what the scriptures say to do, trust and believe, you are priceless. You're the most valuable thing in the world. But if you're not doing this, he's not going to want you. It don't matter who you are or who you think you are. The way to be valuable, by the scriptures. Accept your role. He's got a role to do too. And trust and believe. Why do you think these guys applying the scriptures? Their deficit, they have to be able to provide. You can't go off a wish. Oh yeah, I wish I had this. I wish I had that. No, all the other problems gonna come. They know to lead and guide a woman in the scriptures. Beautiful spirited men. But that one thing they got to overcome. And why abuse you while taking you through financial difficulties? So, but it's a little bit more. I said that to say, because I don't want sisters to think he's coming, he's saying all this to us, but what do he say to the guys? The exact same thing. You want to marry, okay, that's fine. It's not a sin, nothing wrong with that. Don't do it in the closet. Do it right. You want the Most High to bless you. Don't sneak off and do it behind other closed doors. Do it out in the open. You want to be celebrated out in the open. Let your works go before you that you did this the correct type of way. So you be an example. Because you got brothers and sisters that follow you that have the same hope and desire. And you want them to be like, do what I do. Like I want brothers to be an elder and brothers to be hard workers. I can say, brother, do it like I'm doing. Try to be fair, be a hard worker. You see me working hard, trying to provide. If I did things in the closet, I would be ashamed. I couldn't come out and say, well, follow my example, and then I did it the wrong way. So I'm encouraging all the brothers to do it the right way. And everybody will help each other. First brother step up, but we'll help. And another, you step up and you need a place that you need to fix, we'll step up and help you. The next brother step up and need a place, we'll step up and help him. We have to be there for each other to help each other. That's how it's supposed to be. But you got to have, you got to help yourself. And helping yourself is, the Bible says, no man hated his own flesh. To help yourself is you got to be providing for yourself. You got to provide. You got to do that. And then, well, we can do that. Let me finish this so we can shut it down. So that was the Titus chapter 2 and 5. To be discreet. So we talked about that. Sisters, they shouldn't be out of order. Right? Remember what that was?
Yeah.
Right. Shouldn't be. How was it saying it?
Careful and circumspect in your speech.
Yeah.
For the not cause offense.
That's right.
And gain advantage.
Right. Yeah. A lot of young women, they'll do that. Popping off. Won't hesitate to tell you what's on their mind. That is not marriage. You cannot be married doing that. And then the other one, chase, you cannot be interested in other men. It's a wrap. It's over. The guy is the guy. All right. So Titus 2 and 5, keepers at home. The next thing, you got to keep the house straight. You have to clean. Those clothes, clean those clothes. Those kitchens, clean those kitchens. It should be smelling like, what is that? Mr. Pure, Mr. Clean, the bald head dude. Keep the house. It says that. Teach the older women should be teaching the young women to keep the house. Guy come home from work. Women's work and men's work, two different types of work. Not disrespecting women's work. I know y'all get it at the job. That people work out nerves. I understand it. And men's jobs, they do the same thing. They work your mind. Trust me, there are a lot of people that in the world that stand up for black men, and they understand the plight of black men, opposed to a lot of Israelite sisters in the truth. Y'all don't understand the plight of the black man. Why? Some don't. I'll say some. Why don't they understand the walk and life of the black man? Okay, the first ones, they have no dad.
I said dad.
They don't have a dad. You looking up stuff every time I see you in the phone.
Is it because they're being provided with like a more financially stable situation?
No,
They're not, because they're not there, and on top of that, you coming into where they at, so they're not even thinking about what you want to do. And they want you to know what they're doing and what they got going on is hard.
Well, I want to say that's not what I'm thinking. Okay. It's a more logical reason. What is the major problem in Israelite marriages? What is one of the major problems in Israelite marriages?
And shoot from the hip.
Okay.
Woman want to work pants.
What'd you say?
Disorder.
Disorder. Okay. Anybody else?
Communication.
Communication.
Like two heads.
What are we talking about? Stop. What? Stop. What are we talking about? Keepers out. We're talking about, okay, that's fine. I'll accept that. We're talking about women and their roles once they get married, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That becomes such a hardship. That's the reason why I'm talking about it. You sisters, you're sitting there and you not truly understand. Every woman that has a wife, Stacy been through it, Kasai been through it, Khalees been through it, Mr. Vita been through it, the other sister been through it. Hardships in marriage, when you have, I just named the sisters up here, sisters in the basement. You've been through it. When you are in a marriage and you've got to meet the qualifications that I'm saying, that list of demand ain't a cakewalk. That's not easy to do. So you sit there and be like, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. You want the cake. But when it's time for you to really do what you got to do, this is kind of tough, man. So sisters in this truth, they face with that and you be blinded. I didn't say all, because some sisters would be like, I understand what y'all go through as black men. And I'm going to tell you why the women in the world understand what we go through as black men. We get treated still like niggas in 2024. We can see the Ku Klux Klan through the uniform when we go to work. We get racially profiled driving down the street. We get all of that. And it's hard for you to see it because you're fighting with us. That's what blinds them. The fight at home blinds them from seeing the plight of the black man. But then you take the woman that's in the world who's not subject to that type of stuff. She's living her own life. Now she's looking like, y'all treat my man, y'all treat black men any type of way. Because the black man ain't did nothing to her. But in the truth, you think the black man is doing something to you by asking you to walk down this right here, this contract. So yes, it's hard for you to see us persecuted. Sometimes you even want somebody to persecute us.
That's crazy.
Because we're asking you to stick to what the scriptures say. And sometimes we find it appalling. You actually want me to do that? Keep us at home. When we come home, our mind is worked and our body is worked. We expect to come home to a clean house. The man is going to expect to come home to a clean house. Not you still got the chores to do with the excuse, I'm going to get it done, I'm going to get it done, I'm going to get it done. Brothers, when you do, the best case scenario is just tell them, okay, get it done. That's to avoid the fight. Just say, okay, get it done. Give them an opportunity to do it. Then on better terms, and say something, say, hey, you know, got to get this done, taken care of. Choose the battles. Make it easy for you to get through the situation to where it ain't a fight or a battle. But sisters, don't be appalled, because the guy is going to expect you. If you got some stuff that's not right, most people are tidy. But in case you're not, you don't want to take that into no marriage. You want to start practicing. You go like, when I get to my husband, I'm going to be doing this, and you need to start cleaning your house. Them clothes, those kitchens, those bathrooms, those floors, the dust, this, that, making your bed, all type of stuff. Keepers at home. Guy come in, he got to sleep on the bed with the damn clothes. Sorry for the cuss word. You, him, and the clothes. Come on. Sisters, you can't do that. Sisters, you can't do that. Hey, before I forget this, we should advise one another. That's what counsel is about. What if you're okay. Ask you like this. Sisters, if there's a brother that's completely disorderly, in other words, he's dirty, and you're gonna marry him, would you want to know? Would you change? Would you have a what would that do? Would that be discord, or would you actually rethink your strategy? Because changing, getting yourself together is a process that has to happen. What would that do? Would that just be telling you some information? Or would that actually mean something to where you're going to change? That's just you don't have to answer. That's it. But would you want to know? Brothers, if a sister is dirty, would you want to know? Raise your hand if you would want to know. Would that now be okay? So would that make a difference with you? Yeah. With me, it would make a difference. Would you change your mind? Yeah. But she's cute. No. What you say, Corbin? I bet Corbin mean that too. Like, too bad you lost out, shorty. No. Well, who said that? Jeremiah. What Jeremiah?
No, I ain't saying
Who said that? No more shalom for you.
That's
No more shalom for you. She gonna be looking for that smile that come around the corner, and it ain't there. Shorty, I found out you wasn't cleaning. You're not a cleaner. But she's fly from head to toe. Hey guys, we're mandated reporters. You know what a mandated reporter is? That means I gotta tell. You better start keeping your stuff together, because if somebody that makes a difference. Some sisters over there raise their hand. They say that makes a difference. That's a deal breaker. He's not clean. Man, I once rejected a chick. That girl loves me too. I wouldn't even touch her. I'm gonna tell you why. Her car was dirty. Straight up, her car was dirty. Every time she come around me, her car was dirty on the inside. Oh no. She didn't even know that was the reason why. She's a nice girl too. Cute. Shawty didn't have nothing coming because she had a dirty car. That was the reason why. Dirt matters. Yes, sir.
And I want to, I guess, point out some of what you said, and also like how I be minded and other men be minded. It be things, like triggers, like what you said was the car. But a man, he'll hang it up and be like, you ain't got nothing coming because of what you got going on. You saying it was the car, you ain't never messed with her because her car was dirty.
Mm-hmm.
But a man could see something that's not coming and be like, nah, I ain't messing with that.
Yeah.
They go for both.
Yeah, it does.
Naturally, yeah, it should.
Yeah, the door swing both ways. So sisters gotta be good keepers at home. Then it says good. You gotta make the man feel like you're a good wife. I got a good one. He's gotta feel like he's got a good one. Obedient to their husbands. Gotta be obedient to them, gotta listen to them. That the word of God be not blasphemed. Who would blaspheme the word of the Most High? Because you're slacking in these things. Who knows you the most?
Family.
Your family. Your family are looking at you, and they're gonna see that that this thing is failing, because you're gonna go back to them complaining. Are they gonna see you unhappy? Are you gonna call your cousin or call your mother or call you? Say, yeah, did Patricia call you? Yeah, she called me. What she tell you there? Yeah, that nigga over there expect her to do this and that, this and that. I went and got her though. She was crying. The front door. I see you. Yeah. So now they speaking evil of what's right. The man I want you to do your job and be the woman that you said you was. He never see that apartment you had. He just wants you to be what y'all contracted with each other to be. Now you all on the phone with other people. Save you from this. Like he's a problem, he's an issue. Even if he put his foot down. Like, look here, it ain't supposed to be like that. You're not supposed to do this. Now he's narcissist. The scriptures is not be evil spoken of. That's what blasphemy is. He's crazy. You're in a cult. You calling it now as blasphemy. Now he's speaking evil of the word. When they're supposed to see that you're successful, you're functioning, you're well taken care of. If you do this, you will succeed more than your parents did. If you do this, you'll have success. They'll look at you and be like, wow, look how well it's going for her. Okay, what is it?
You know, I was just about to ask you what blasphemy was, but you explained it, but is that also considered like scoffing? Almost?
Somewhat, a scoffer is something, yeah, they speaking bad about, something about something, but scoffers typically don't think that they blaspheming, that they speaking evil of the scriptures. A scoffer might direct something directly towards you, or what you're saying or what you did. They might be agreeing in one thing but rejecting something else. When blaspheming, it's just, I'm just rejecting it. I'm speaking evil of this. So we're at the end of it, guys. First Timothy 5 and 14. So we read to guide the house. Give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. The precept says for their railings. Because a lot of people are against Israelite men. They speak bad about us. They don't want you to be with us. They're saying that we're controlling when we're just asking you to apply the scriptures. Are we seeing it? All right. And the last one, for some are already turned aside after Satan. So to turn aside after Satan is to not do what these scriptures are saying. To turn aside after Satan is to not do what the scriptures are saying. If you misbehave, you have turned aside after Satan. I've seen people, they get into this, and the husband's saying, you're giving place to Satan. The wife is like, no, I'm not. So moving forward, you want to be married, prepare yourself. You've got the tools. You got to remember it. And before anything, take counsel. Sisters, interested in a brother? Ask. I'll tell you. Brothers, interested in a sister? Ask one of these other sisters who deal with them. Ask her side. They take to her for counsel. Ask her. Is she ready? Because today we've already addressed some requirements. Any questions? All right, Matthew 26.
The book of Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 6. Now when Christ was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and put it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Christ understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me you have not always. For in that she had poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman hath done be told for a memorial of her. So we want to give all praises to the Most High for sending this woman Mary with a broken and contrite spirit to come and comfort Christ before his burial. And the Lord said, whatsoever this gospel is to be preached, this too that this woman have done be told for memorial of her. The Lord's Communion, 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 23. First Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 23. For I have received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you, that the Lord the Christ the same night in which he was betrayed took bread. And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, take, eat, this is my body which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, this cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as often as you drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do show the Lord's death till he come. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world.
Hey, see how you doing now?
I need
That's part of the great war.
All right, guys, let's go.
It's
Oh, okay. Y'all make mistakes, baby. That's one of mine. Most high in every first. Thank you for the truth of God, man.
Amen.
All right, this is Bible broken for you. I chew slow. Takes his blood. Okay, let's go. Okay, Israel.
If every man was just like me, what kind of sanctuary would this be?
Lord's Prayer, Matthew 6 and 9. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. And in Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
The Lord's Prayer, Luke 10 and 2. Therefore say they unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the labors are few. Pray therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth labors into his harvest. Bless you, Most High, King of heaven and earth, and all things, Most High, in the name of Christ. Send more disciples and teachers to your harvest, to gather your people Israel, and send counsel behind your laws, to stand before that people Israel. Give to us strength to break down our lives with thy word. In Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
All right. Children of Israel, bless one another.
Most High name of Christ bless you all.
I heard they're passing that right
Hold on, my ride. Diana! Diana! I need my car. Come on. So what? The wife's okay.
Soft smoking.
Diana, you gotta come on. Sam, don't forget to Canadian water. I left my car. I'm driving to somebody else. What's up?
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna ask him now.
We'll bring it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I got distracted. I didn't have on my couch.
Shamari, tell your mama said wait. Wait, I need to ride. Okay, Israelites, I guess I gotta go before I get left. Gotta go before I get left. Most High Christ bless everybody. All right, Shalom.